Good. Okay. All righty.
Yes.
Everybody good? Everybody good? Wait, we got some bounce? All right, everyone good. All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's good to be here at Mariners Harbor, and we're here to talk today about how we can better serve. Yeah, move up. You're getting signaled. It just has a spontaneous feeling to move up. We're here to talk about how we can better serve this community. One of the things that I've heard so much from Councilmember Debbie Rose about is the needs of all community members, but particularly young people, to have more options for recreation, for tutoring, for all the things that can enrich their lives and give them something positive to do. And this is a conversation that actually started last year.
Yes, we did.
And again, I always give you points for persistence that you have raised many times, that we have to do more around this development. And that there were opportunities to use what we already had and build upon it to reach a lot more people. So I'm here to announce a $5.7 million investment, and it will allow us to expand the current community center to a new facility at 22 Roxbury Street, just a short walk from here.
Yay!
So, once again, this is proof that persistence is a virtue.
That's right.
All right, and good things happen if we stay at it. I want to thank all my colleagues here. Michael Kelly, General Manager of the Housing Authority, who is going to make sure that this vision comes to fruition.
That's
I
right.
want to thank Andrew Miller from the Department of Youth and Community Development that works with community organizations to make sure that we have great programming for residents. And again, particular focus on giving our young people positive options. I want to, of course, thank Chief Della Torre, who has done outstanding work all over Staten Island and knows the importance of programs that give youth positive options. And I want to thank Kiko Charles, the president of the Mariners Harbor Tenants Residents Association. Thank you. We're going to get to work on this project right away. It will take a couple of years to be done, but when it is done, there will be 5,000 total square feet of community space between the two facilities. It will allow us to provide services at any given time for an additional 150 residents of these developments and the community. That'll more than double the existing capacity. And it means something very personal to folks who live here. We have had programs here like the Cornerstone program. You see the great sign there for that. We've had opportunities for residents and particularly, again, for youth, but we haven't had enough. We've had to do more. And when we provide the amount that's needed, here's what it means in human terms. For parents, it means they know their kids have a safe place to be. They know they have a place where they can get that tutoring, that homework help, or recreation programs or cultural programs that really improve their lives, improve their education. And it gives parents peace of mind. It really does, when you know there's a positive alternative for your children. So what you'll see as these facilities are fixed up, you'll go in at any given point, you'll find kids working on their homework, you'll find mentors and tutors providing them help. There's been a great flag football league going on. That'll get to expand, and other sports as well. And we really believe this will help the Mariners Harbor community in general. It'll be good for people all ages. So, you know, this is an example of why this week was important in real practical terms. Because when you spend focused time somewhere, it allows us to get to solutions. And we met earlier in the week.
Yes, we did.
Debbie reminded me we had this conversation in the past. We had actually started trying to figure out the cost, logistics, and all. But in the rush of so many things, we didn't get to a final answer. But Debbie said, come on, you're here, let's focus, let's get this done. We got on the phone with OMB, with NYCHA, and literally in the course of the last few days, we realized this is something we could do, and it was going to be a great thing for the community. So I'm very proud to make that announcement, and now I'd like you to hear from our elected officials, starting with Councilmember Debbie Rose.
Good morning. I am so excited. I am really excited. First, let me acknowledge the wonderful people who are standing behind me who made this possible, who actually listened to me and didn't kick me out when my persistence got to be annoying. But I want to recognize my colleague, Michael Cusick, and of course, let me start with the mayor. But I have a lot more to say about the mayor. and Michael Kelly and Chief Delatorre and Andrew Miller and Kiko Charles, whose persistence, I think, even outmatches mine.
You started it.
And so, you know, Mr. Mayor, I just think this is a wonderful way for you to end your week on Staten Island. You know, the recreational needs of many on the North Shore, in the North Shore communities, was a recurring theme. And I'm sure you heard that last night at the town hall. Because the North Shore has a dearth of recreational facilities, this makes today even better, because we know this is a confirmation that the mayor not only saw the need, listened, and acted upon it. And so I want to say thank you very much to Mayor de Blasio for getting us to this point. I'm really excited. This has been an exciting week as Staten Island played host to the mayor and his cabinet. And I'm telling you, it was really busy. I'm glad they were here, but they can go home.
No.
No. It was really a busy. It was really busy. There was a lot of buzz, but there was a lot accomplished, and I can't thank you enough. You know, we had deputy mayors and commissioners and their staff, and they were all attentive to what our needs were and what we were saying. It's been jam-packed with visits, tours, and meetings, including our First Lady as well, who came and visited a resident here in the Mariners Harbor area who has an extensive collection of African-American memorabilia and artifacts. And so last night's town hall, I think all of you would agree, was robust. And I'm guessing our mayor is still processing the myriad questions and conversations that came his way. And I think, and I know he is, because I just said to him, you know, like, when are you coming back? And, you know, we have more to do.
On the next thing.
Right. And I think he would agree that possibly the most questions that he received had to do with the lack of recreational facilities for our youth and youth-oriented issues. You know, how do we keep our youth engaged? How do we keep our youth out of trouble? How do we keep them in safe environments where they can grow and flourish? Knowing that we would be here today and that this site would be an expanded Cornerstone Center was difficult to withhold. But knowing how meaningful this will make, how meaningful this center is going to be, made it possible to keep the secret. I mean, I was chomping at the bit last night to say it, and the mayor has much more restraint than I do, and we were able to keep the secret. I believe there's no greater focus for investment that we can make than our young people. Daily, we search for solutions for social inequities that result in high inequality, unsatisfactory school scores, or criminal behavior. And a lack of investment in youth programming is a common link among those issues. So as we conclude Mayor de Blasio's bustling week in our borough, I applaud his choice to address that need and to rehabilitate and expand the center at NYCHA's Mariners Harbor Cornerstone program. This $5.7 million investment in this community. And yesterday, we did a $4.5 million community parks initiative with the Grandview Playground and Park, which now means that there's been a total investment of almost $10 million in this community that formerly had nothing. And I have the mayor to thank for that. This is an extremely well-spent and very safe investment. And again, I thank you, Mr. Mayor, for hearing us, for enduring my persistence. I know it was annoying, but it paid off.
It was righteous.
Thanks.
And finally, I want to hear from Assemblyman Mike Cusick. We've known each other a long time. He fights the battles up in Albany, and I've always known I could call upon him to help us when we're trying to get what we need from Albany. I appreciate that he's always there, not only for Staten Island, but for the whole city. Assemblyman Mike Cusick.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank you for being here on Staten Island this week, but this is a great end to your trip. Representing this area for the years that I've been in the Assembly, this is, as Debbie Rose said, this is a great investment in the community. And knowing what the need is here at Mariners Harbor, you don't have a community without a center meeting place, without a community center, without some place to go and gather and to be a community. And that's what this investment's all about, is to get a place that is suitable, that is usable, that people can meet, and people can be one community. And I don't think there's a greater way to end a trip to Staten Island, being here in Staten Island, than making this investment. I want to thank my colleague, Debbie Rose, for pushing this and getting this done, because this is something that is much needed here in Mariners Harbor. And, of course, I could not thank enough the woman you can't say no to when you represent Mariners Harbor is Kiko, Miss Kiko Charles. And she's giving me a look, so, but she is the driving force here in this community. And I want to thank her for her advocacy for her neighbors, her friends, her families, because things like this cannot get done through elected officials and the mayor's office without great advocates like Kiko Charles. So thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Debbie, great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.